My name is Nick Martin. Today, I want to talk about guns. You may notice that I'm wearing a gun. It's part of my job, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. The title of this presentation is Why Guns Aren't Bad. There's different reasons why guns are not bad. There's different types of guns, there's different uses for guns. There's also the fact that guns never hurt anyone. Just to give you a brief explanation, I want to talk about the different types of guns. There's pistols, and within pistols you have different categories there. You have semi-automatic guns, which are guns that load themselves. You have revolvers, which have a cylinder with usually 6 shots in them. And then you have single shot guns, where you have to load each individual bullet by hand. Next we have rifles. In the rifle category we have semi-automatic like we do in pistols. Now semi-automatic rifles, they're the ones that you hear about in the media with that evil stereotype of assault rifle. But keep in mind that assault rifle is just a term that was created by the media. Assault rifles are really just semi-automatic rifles. Then you have bolt-action rifles, which use a bolt. Typically your hunting rifles fall into that category. You have revolver-style rifles. They work just like the revolver pistols with a cylinder. You have single-shot rifles, which are rifles that, as they say, and just like the pistols, you have to individually load each round. And then you also have lever-action rifles, which are like your cowboy guns. Another type of gun you have is shotguns. Shotguns are used very heavily by people for self-defense. Just to give you an idea, we have semi-automatic shotguns, which are just like the rifles and the pistols. They auto-load themselves. We have bolt action, just like the rifles. Lever action, just like the rifles. The revolvers, just like the rifles and the pistols. Single shot, same thing. You load each individual bullet. On the different categories, you have what they call an over and under, where the shotgun has 2 barrels, one on top, one on the bottom. And then we have pump action shotguns, which is the shotgun that you think of, the one where you cock it and it makes a loud noise. Next, in kind of our final category, is the black powder. They come in rifles and revolvers. These are your olden guns from the old movies, the ones they used during like the American Revolution and the Civil War. Now I want to talk about the uses of guns. Guns are used for work. For example, I work for an armored car company, and I carry a gun for my own protection. Police officers also carry guns. Military carries guns. These are just a few examples of people that use guns for work. Guns are also used for hunting. Different people like to hunt either deer, duck, different things, and therefore they use their guns for hunting. Other people, myself included, enjoy target shooting. That can be anything from shooting the clay pigeons like we have here in the picture, or shooting at paper targets. Final use that we have here is self-defense. A gun can be used to protect yourself. So let's talk about why you should own a gun. A few examples we have is one of them is family legacy. According to Russ Chaston, who is a hunting expert, a family legacy of gun ownership is often a factor in determining whether one will become a gun owner. Many of us got our first guns as a gift from our parents. I know that I did. Next, George Washington himself liked guns. In a quote from a paper written by Dr. Marshall St. John, George Washington said, "Firearms stand next in importance to the Constitution itself. They are the American people's liberty teeth and keystone under independence." Another reason why you should have a gun is for self-defense. In another article written by Bobby Powell, "Since I can't have a police officer stationed outside my house 24/7, and any help from 911 would most likely arrive too late." That way, it's one of those things where if something happens, somebody's trying to break into your house, it's always good to call the police. But if somebody's about to be inside of your house, being someone who was a dispatcher, it can take quite a bit of time. I mean, it can take up to 15 minutes for a police officer to get there, even running code red. So, I mean, having that gun is a good thing. And even us as dispatchers, when I was working there, we didn't have a problem with somebody having a gun if somebody was trying to get into their house. Now, one thing we did do is we did stay on the phone just to make sure that they put the gun away before the officers arrived. The final reason is that it's your right to have one. The Second Amendment says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. You know, it's one of the things that our founding fathers felt important to keep tyranny from becoming a problem in this country, was to make sure that the citizenship was allowed to have guns. Next, let's move on to guns never hurt anyone. A gun is an inanimate object, and as long as it's not handled improperly, it's not going to hurt anybody. And really, it's people that hurt people, not guns. In conclusion, it's your right to have a gun. Guns are not evil, but if you do decide to get a gun, which I hope you do, make sure you practice. Thank you.